What is the next step in the operation? What is the next step in the operation?
Alright, we are back again. We've encountered this enemy task force, which it seems they tried to escape from us. This is a really risky fight, but we have exactly almost even numbers, I think. Looks like it. Fighting 2 heavy cruisers and a crap ton of destroyers versus like what are like 6 light cruisers and 4 destroyers. So I mean they might even each other out. Oh man, we're just gonna have to really hope that our light cruisers can actually stand up to a heavy cruiser, which again is not what I designed them to do. But I did give them a crap ton of armor, and their loadout isn't terrible for the era at all, at least for their size. This is gonna be really risky though. I really just have to hope that our destroyers can run up to the heavy cruisers and torpedo them, because I mean, look at how these pictures are to scale. Look at how huge their ships are compared to ours right now. But they only have 2, so we have about 6 here, starting with our flagship, the New Orleans light cruiser Ava class, and in the background there you can see the McCormick class small destroyer. Now, I have gone down in the background there in that time lapse. There is a moment where I'm looking at our finance screen and I'm allocating as much resources as I can in crew training, and now if you see in the bottom right now, the training level of all the ships here are trained. So they're just above cadets, they're not yet. I think there's like 4 training levels maybe, so our accuracy and overall performance should be much better on the water today, especially fighting the Royal Navy, you know, who are historically absolutely terrifying. This is the second time, I don't know if I've already said this or not, this is the second time I've had to record the voiceover for this entire thing because I realized my microphone wasn't plugged in. So, it's alright. At least I know that, like, well, I know the editing's finished at this point. The voiceover is the last thing I do in all my videos. I say all mine, I've only made like 1. Well, I've made 5 YouTube videos, but yeah, like 1 a video this style. Looking down, we've got the, not going to try and pronounce that, then the Pasadena light cruiser. Yeah, so we got about 6 of them. We got 8 destroyers here with us, the Tolman, the Dyson, and the McDougal, and then the John Francis Burns. I have no idea who that is. I'm assuming that's some American historic figure. I might be an idiot for not remembering who he is or what he did or anything like that, but I honestly don't. It is cool. Our lead ship is the New Orleans, though. Our capital ship, I guess you could say. That's what that little flag icon means above it. A flagship is something only a battlecruiser or battleship can have, and it gives like a buff to any other ships around it because, you know, like morale boost, I guess, because how huge it is. At this point, I see in our lower left, I've missed a report from earlier, but it basically saying one of our ships said that enemy smoke spotted to the northeast, so we're heading to the northeast. Yep, there's a second one. They're reminding us. Honestly, battle plan here is just try and get broadside with the heavy cruisers from a distance with our light cruisers for a bit, and our destroyers just try and beeline it towards them. and again unleash torpedoes because they're big. They probably have a lot of armor. I don't even know if our light cruisers can penetrate and do any damage to them at all, so torpedoes are pretty much our only hope, because no matter what, torpedoes are going to do some devastating damage. And there we go, we have now spotted the heavy cruisers. So at this point, yep, just letting my destroyers beeline it towards them. We don't see any of their destroyers, so I'm hoping their destroyers broke off somewhere behind them and are heading towards our light cruisers, because that is the best outcome here. I know, or at least historically anyway, this pirate ship design should absolutely destroy destroyers, and that is a massive heavy cruiser. Those are awesome with the tall, very tall bows. Their secondary smaller turrets are the caliber of our main guns on our light cruisers, so again, not the best. Hopeful. Scared, but this point, getting the destroyers in, they're getting closer. Just gotta lead them in and kind of zigzag a little. And now I've realized that this is an absolute trap ambush, and their destroyers are actually everywhere around our destroyers right now. So our destroyers are completely all by themselves, and this is not survivable of any ship at all, actually, honestly. Not even a battleship. And now they're getting absolutely pulverized by destroyer and light cruiser fire. And the heavy cruisers are turning around too, and we're getting shot at by torpedoes by their destroyers. And this should be game ending for this destroyer right here. Turns out the torpedoes suck, but we also did just take a direct hit from somebody right just then. But yeah, so the torpedoes aren't the best, at least, and we know that if we hit at a good angle, they should dud out because tech is not that good. I'm saying as our destroyers are getting absolutely mauled. We did actually just shoot out torpedoes, but I think it was actually just at one of the destroyers, which is annoying because I'm telling them to shoot at the heavy... Oh no, it's at the heavy cruisers. So at least we can get at least a... If those do land, a good right hook in on those cruisers. I think there's a torpedo going for the Dyson there. That's going to be game over for them. At least we're dishing out some damage to that one of their destroyers, a little bit of damage. And oh, we did hit them with a torpedo. They hit us with a dud torpedo, so we just did some catastrophic damage. The Dyson sinks no matter what, though. I guess he was engulfed in flames. But yes, some of the destroyers have now beelined it towards us, while their heavy cruisers are still trying to turn around after running from our destroyers. We're about to find out what our light cruisers can do to destroyer now. Really, of course, frontal attack on this thing's pretty weak. Really meant for other light cruisers, but again, our pirate ship layout on the sides should hopefully do some absolutely catastrophic damage with those 4-inch guns. More than enough to pin any destroyer's armor. I mean, yeah, look at that. One 4-inch hit was that like 3,000 damage almost? And we just launched like 12 torpedoes at him, so that was a great job by us wasting those torpedoes. Should be an awesome broadside. Oh yeah, that is awesome. And that'll be game over for this light cruiser. Was that 2 torpedoes? Yeah, that's way too much damage to the bow. I would probably rip the bow right off. And we did actually just get hit twice there. That poor destroyer is getting shot at by every single one of our light cruisers right now. Luckily, their torpedoes, I guess because of just the angle on the bow, it actually didn't do that much damage. It's only about 1,000 each. As you can see, like we saw earlier, a torpedo can do like up to 5,000 damage, which would tear that light cruiser apart, but alas, it didn't. Good ammo detonation there. We either blew up their torpedo. Now it looks like that'd be ammo storage. Yeah, so I really up armor the interiors of the ship to stop that from happening, because I mean, if you ammo rack any ship and the ammo explodes, it's over. Just slowly dealing with these destroyers from afar now, because we have such a range advantage over them. Most of them are limping or dead in the water, so we've done a good job at taking care of these destroyers. However, there are 2 still heavy cruisers looming. Really just trying to make sure these light cruisers don't accidentally get like torpedoed while they're trying to shoot these destroyers. And now I'm telling, yep. Oh, a third hit. That's only Nashville though. The New Orleans got hit twice, so this is the first hit that Nashville's taken. She's starting to flood a little bit on fire there, somewhere inside the ship. I'm gonna ignore this collision going on here. Now the fight with the heavy cruisers have started. The other destroyers are running away now at this point because they're all not in a condition to fight us at all. And as I expected, most of our rounds are just literally bouncing off of those heavy cruisers. They're pretty scary. I will tell you though, it appears the heavy cruisers aim as absolutely abysmal, like actually stormtrooper aim. Whereas we are laying some pretty, that's like 90% of our rounds flying past, but I mean, at least we're getting some hits in. Our volume of fire is very nice. Yeah, those guns sound beefy on these heavy cruisers. I believe they're like 9 or 10-inch guns, which is pretty intimidating, but not if you can't hit anything. And yeah, some of our rounds are actually managing to pass through. I believe the rounds from our main guns are able to penetrate there. Yeah, they are. And I mean, both those heavy cruisers are shooting at the New Orleans or the Nashville, whichever one is in the lead right now. And it's just soaking up the damage. We did a really good job on the armor layout on these light cruisers. Like, they could take a serious beating from these heavy cruisers, which is rare, honestly, of a ship of that class. Or size, really, honestly. But, I mean, this is honestly, in my opinion, the best light cruiser design I've ever made. We just lack some slight firepower with our main guns, but I wasn't really too worried about that. You know, its job is to take out anything smaller than it, and it does a great job at that. That would have been an awesome screenshot. I'm going to go and declare I did not figure out how to screenshot. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I forgot, but it's fine. Cool thing. And yeah, we are all shooting at these heavy cruisers. And just now, for the first time I've ever seen, a storm has rolled in mid-fight. So that honestly works heavily. Mother Nature works heavily in our favor here because obviously both sides now are going to be able to not really see each other, so we're going to be super inaccurate. But that allows all of these light cruisers to get in really nice and close, and we all have torpedoes on board. So hopefully that can do it. I mean, we've gotten them to like 75% structural integrity there, but again, that's after all of us shooting at the same person for like 5 minutes now. Yeah. This looks really nice, the visuals here, and again, their heavy cruisers are very slow. I guess they traded speed for having those huge main guns, but it didn't help them at all because they are all stormtroopers. They cannot hit anything. They could not hit the broadside of a building if they wanted to. We are just continuing to lay into them. I mean, we're pretty much only poking them, but it's enough to keep them on fire. That is our last remaining destroyer, I believe, right there, and now they're about to collide with each other and cause some collateral damage to each other. That was the John, whatever the heck. That was our last destroyer. He's getting pretty close to him. I mean, our light cruisers can just take an absolute beating from the enemy. Again, it's just so impressive to me. We did a really good job with the armor layout. I'm really happy with that. That's going to help us out a lot. And we did just launch torpedoes. We got close enough. It is storming though, so I was honestly expecting, you know, it would not surprise me if they missed entirely because no one can really see each other. Well, I mean, obviously we could see them. They are both listing, so that's probably also affecting their aim. So all he does is though, sneaking up on them. They're probably not going to be able to see him until the last second, but they're so slow it doesn't matter. That is 2 torpedoes right there too, so that is going to be... That's going to send them back home for sure. And there you are, did some catastrophic damage to the internals, so that's going to start flooding really fast. They're not going to be able to stop it, because all their watertight compartments probably just got absolutely ruined. And this is our most damaged ship right now that hasn't been sunk. This is the Cincinnati. That is what that is. The light cruiser Cincinnati is taking an absolute beating from both of these heavy cruisers, but just honestly, not shrugging it off, but kind of shrugging it off. I mean, yeah, it's engulfed in flames, but the fact it's not underwater is insane. More torpedoes come in. Holy moly, 5,000 damage from one of those. It's over pretty much now. Of course, the game doesn't declare it as sinking, but there's nothing they could possibly do to stop that flooding. Yeah, it's just slowly... I mean, it's on fire everywhere, and it's slowly flooding, so... Say goodbye to the Aragnaut. Heavy cruiser. Sinks to heavy flooding. Now we just got one more to deal with. And already it's starting to list. This poor destroyer has snuck its way in between all of our light cruisers who are trying to fight the heavy cruiser. So it is going to be removed from the planet any second now. Okay, yeah. We just launched a torpedo that's got to be somewhere in the Geneva Convention. Alright. We have just been absolutely laying rounds into this heavy cruiser, and I mean, he's still not doing a bad job right now. Their biggest design flaw is just their actual lack of firepower, to be completely honest. Again, though, that is a very, very big ship, so they can take a lot of beating. They're going to have a lot of room in there to flood without it doing any issues, really. At this point, though, they are definitely not making it out of this, though. We are able to slowly scrape away at their exterior here. This game is very underrated graphically, in my opinion. This looks amazing. And that is a torpedo, I believe. Yep, it sure is. She is now stuck in the water. All of her engines have shut down and are engulfed in flames right now, so she's not going anywhere. I mean, this is a valiant last stand here. Down she goes, and she's about to get hit with some 2 torpedoes we shot earlier. Yep, that's illegal. Okay. Now we pretty much just have to spread out and deal with these remaining destroyers that are running away in the storm. So we gotta hope up that we can... I do want to sink them. I don't want them getting away, because we need to really make sure that we're ticking away at the Royal Navy at this point. We have managed to track down this destroyer here. It's headed towards us, which is an idiotic move. I would just turn and run for the hills, but they're not, and they just got hit. The best way to deal with destroyers is just take some long shots, and if you do enough damage, maybe manage to start them flooding or take out an engine, they're going to get bogged down and they can't run anymore. Which again, speed is their greatest advantage in anything. We are now chasing down what could be the last destroyer here, and this could be catastrophic. Luckily, their torpedoes do suck every now and then. In this storm, though, it's a miracle we've managed to keep up and spot them. So it does turn out there's one more destroyer, and we have now located it. So we're going to go ahead and try and chase him down here. We're just taking some Hail Mary shots at him and actually managing to hit. Getting closer and closer. Now we're going to go and turn and give him our full broadside, which pretty much destroys him in about 10 seconds, as long as we can be accurate. And down she goes. That will be the game for today. Absolutely the best possible outcome we could have ever had. We sunk 10 of their ships, they only sunk 3 of ours. Catastrophic. I mean, they lost 2,500 people. We did lose 800, sadly, closer to 900, but I mean, we absolutely gave them a wallop for the cards we were given, I guess you could say. Could not be happier with that battle, honestly. Even with that ambush, I feel bad for our destroyers. The first thing I'm going to do is honestly go ahead and fix our destroyers up. Give them some upgrades, I guess, or design a new one, slightly bigger one. Looking at that heavy cruiser now, I mean, that thing is massive, but honestly, the armament could have been better. That was their greatest fallback. So when we make a heavy cruiser, I'll make sure we don't have the same issue. And there you go. We got 6,000 victory points from that. Light, medium damage, and their whole fleet just sunk. So they're going to be mad. Oh, would you look at that? They would like a peace treaty. We're not going to accept that. We're going to make sure that we get some actual rewards from this war we've started. Try and maybe even take over some ports eventually. Maybe even invade Britain eventually. That's definitely up there. Probably going to start by harassing their colonies and invading them first, or their overseas colonies.
What is the next step for operation?
This is the official Rivers class, a prototype really. We're gonna definitely upgrade it, but it's took away some main gun to really give it a lot of oomph torpedo wise, because really that's what we need now, just good torpedo. Alright, there's the prototype Rivers. We're going to build about 8 of them, just as a concept. We'll definitely... I want to make it a lot stronger than it is. A lot cooler than this, but we will. Building a lot of new ships here, and, well... Second battle, doing good.